Dear. Oh, hi there. My name's Mark Hurley. You join me in the newsroom. Now, you might remember one of the last episodes we advertised coasters. Now, coasters, that's what I'm talking about. Now, drinking can be difficult sometimes, and especially if you're a hit news anchor like myself. So why not have one coaster when in fact you can have two? Now, with two coasters, you have extra protection from those splashing. Look at that, barely any splash.
Two coasters. Now that's definitely what I'm talking about.
Can we get a towel? Is that possible? Can we... I'm back! Yes, for sports, politics, celebrities and anything else that might be relevant. You join me here in news headquarters for Mr Hurleys Evening News. Yes, I have returned. Hello, welcome to Mr Hurleys Evening News, bringing you the news so you don't have to. My name is Mark Hurley and you return with me here in news headquarters. Let us go straight to it today, as we've got a lot to talk about. Let us talk to today's top stories. First of all, in the news, we have a new mug. Although it wasn't the same as the last one, it will have to do, and I'm sure we will grow used to it. Also in the news, I have also had my new haircut, and news just in, I look fantastic. Let's get to the other stories. We're also going to be talking about various news, what has been going on in the Middle East and involving Islamic State. We are also going to be looking at the Japan and Russia have called for talks. We're going to be looking at US politics and some other various stories as the evening progresses. So, without further ado, let's get cracking. First of all, I want to say I hope you've had a lovely Christmas, New Year, and I hope everyone is slowly getting back to work. If not, then just enjoy yourself. I'm very jealous. But other than that, we're going to be looking at some very not fantastically happy stories this first half, so let's just try and get through it, because serious news is still news. We can't be laughing for the whole time. Right, now the first story that's just came in, this early hours this morning, so-called Islamic State sent in a video to Britain, addressing Britain, and it was a one of their Islamic State militants calling about various attacks that they're planning on British soil. They're talking about a massive wave of attacks. Now, although this can be threatening, David Cameron, the Prime Minister, said that this was a desperate attempt of propaganda from an organisation which is losing ground. And now I'm inclined to agree with him at this stage, as they are continuing their use of propaganda and trying to use their scare tactics. But now, what with coalition airstrikes increasing and the effects that they've done, and also the fact that now they're losing territory in both Syria and in Iraq, this just seems to be a desperate attempt from an organisation that is slowly losing as the world is turning to them. Now, you'll see what I'm talking about by them losing ground, because also in Iraq we've heard news that on the 28th of December Iraqi security forces rose the Iraq flag in the Anbar province government headquarters in Ramadi city. Now, what's left of Islamic State in the city have gone into their hideouts and have gone underground, but other than that, they can confirm that the city centre and the rest of the city is finally under Iraqi security force control. Now, this is quite a big step forward, and some experts and some military tacticians, some officers are saying that this might actually be the sign of the start of the end of the Islamic State occupation in certain Iraqi areas. So hopefully we will continue to see them getting pushed back. Now, Saudi Arabia have completely cut off diplomatic relations between them and Iran. They've also completely stopped commercial flights, so airlines and everything going from Saudi Arabia to Iran, and also Saudi Arabia's allies have also in the region joined in and begin to cut off their relations, what they say is an act of aggression against Iran. This is quite an unstable crisis, and what we will do is we will have to keep you posted and we will have to keep watch. Now what we're going to do is we are going to have a very quick break, and we are going to go to the weather room, and then we will come back and hopefully lighten the mood. Happy days, I can say. Right, Mark, are you there in the weather room? Please, Mark, are you there? We're rolling, brilliant. Hi there, my name is Weatherman Mark, and welcome back to the weather room. We hope you've had a good, chilly start to 2016. Let us check the low budget weather report this evening. We need to sort this out, we can't keep doing something. Yeah. That's exactly what I guessed. Now, this evening it is incredibly cold outside. It's a bit of a cloudy night also. We've had a lot of cloud coming in a westerly direction and covering the east coast of the United Kingdom. Now, it has been quite abnormally warm for this winter over November and December, but we can definitely feel that it's getting colder. Are we making sense? Are we actually being sorry? I'm sorry. No. It's definitely a lot colder. If you're going to go outside, coat, scarf, gloves, wellies, socks, thermal socks, 4 hats and a face mask. It's cold. Now, for your weather report, if you do not live in the United Kingdom, stand up and proceed to look out of your window now. Have you done that? Brilliant. Well, there is your weather report for this evening. Now, for tomorrow's weather report for Tuesday, look out of your window when you wake up in the morning and there it is, staring you right in the face. This has been Weatherman Mark. You've been in the weather room. This has been the start of 2016 and us saying again, we don't have the budget. Back to you, Mark. Fantastic. Now, remember to keep what he says in mind. Also in the news, Japan, Shinzo Abe, the Japanese Prime Minister, has called that they're going to have talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Now, these talks, the aim of these talks are to negotiate a final peace treaty between the two nations regarding World War II. Now, quick history lesson. Japan and the Soviet Union during World War II never actually signed a peace treaty ending hostilities between the two nations. Now, this has gone on for now 70 years that they've technically still been at war with each other, and both President Vladimir Putin and Prime Minister Shinzo Abe have actually said that for 70 years with this no peace treaty been actually signed at all is completely abnormal. So they plan in this year, in 2016, to finally sign a peace treaty between the two. Now, this was regarding the 4 islands that are being disputed currently, but I'm sure that this will oversee that and there will finally be a peace treaty between the two nations. Now, before we get into our US politics segment, we're going to talk about Star Wars really quickly. Now, there's no spoilers because I still haven't seen the film. This is dreadful. I'm going to go into a crazy rage and destroy the whole set in a minute, but enough about me. Now, in Star Wars, George Lucas has been quoted on the fact that he's said that that the Star Wars films are too much like the old retro ones, and they're nothing like the ones Episode 1, 2 and 3. Now, I think it's quite convenient that this Star Wars film, Force Awakens, taken in so many positive reviews, taken in so much money as well across the world, and I think it's one of the best Star Wars films. Apparently that's been said. Now, George Lucas, it's quite convenient that he said that they're not as good as the ones that he happened to direct. I think there's something going on there. But other than that, I think he just needs to just keep quiet now. He sold the rights. He's sitting on a pile of money, so really, why should he worry? But now we will move on to US politics. It's our fantastic US politics segment, which says US politics, the place where no matter how smart you are, or no matter if you're an absolute bloody idiot, you can still run for president. Unless you've got the money. But enough about that satire. Hillary Clinton had a rally earlier, a few days ago actually, and during this rally, this question and answer session she had a bit of a Q&A. She asked for questions on Twitter, and she didn't. That was a lie. Now someone stood up during this question and answer session, and they started heckling her regarding the Bill Clinton sex scandal. Now, Hillary Clinton, as sassy as she is, she just turned around and she said to the woman, I quote, "You are very rude." Now I think this is fantastic because she didn't actually get aggressive, and if you watch the clip, if you can find it on YouTube or on other news websites, although you watch this one because it's the best, you can see that as much as the woman was shouting and heckling Hillary Clinton, she just took no notice whatsoever, and the crowd soon sorted the heckler out. So really, at the end of the day, it just tells us a story that if anyone's shouting, you just take no notice of them. Now we are going to be looking at the polls. I was going to do a segment on Donald Trump, but he's probably still off. I don't know, I'm lost with that man. Now the polls we're going to be looking at, we're going to look at the Democratic polls first. Hillary Clinton is still in the lead, of course, with 58.8% of the vote. Now, of course, this isn't really surprising. Her political storm has been going absolutely since she was on Obama's cabinet, and now since she announced that she's running for president, I think she's got that one in the bag. But these are only the polls. The primaries have not happened yet, and Bernie Sanders is coming up on 30.8% of the vote. So he's coming up slowly, and maybe, depending on how the primaries turn out, it might actually go to him, but we will have to find out. Now, Martin O'Malley, still at 2.6% of the vote, and really, I think our condolences to him from Mr Hurleys Evening News. Now we're going to go on to the Republicans. Someone called Donald Trump, I don't know the man myself, is still leading with 38.6% of the vote. He's still up there somehow. It shows what money can do. Now also Ted Cruz is coming in second place with 17% of the vote. And Marco Rubio is trailing behind in third with 10.9%. Now there are other candidates, but they're just too many of the Republicans, and there's too little percentages, and they're all over the place. But really, with Donald Trump, I think he might have it in the bag, as bad as it is for me to say. But hopefully this is just the primaries. Maybe there might be some miraculous victory from someone else, and maybe Donald Trump might be beaten by Hillary Clinton physically with a baseball bat. But we will have to see how that election turns out. I'm going to bring us onto a little bit of a lighter note on things. The problem with Islamic State, that's not the best start, but the problem with Islamic State in the Middle East and everything that's going on out there. Now, in Baghdad, in the capital of Iraq, in the centre of Baghdad, there's a man called Karim Wasfi, and he sat there in the centre of Baghdad with a cello, and he started playing music, and I think that is brilliant of this to do. If you can find a clip of that, please watch it, because he says that he's trying to empower the people to be and bring back the people's confidence. Although they're living in fear still from what is Islamic State, he wants to empower them and rally them round again and try and beat terrorism, as he says, with music. And I think that's a fantastic idea, and maybe we can all play some music from our jets. But I think that's brilliant, and please do try and find that and support that man. He's fantastic. And also, for a little bit of a lighter side, for just to end with a smile, in the Irkutsk region of Russia, which I've said terribly wrong, a group of seals, two seals named Winnie the Pooh and Lasta, have been taught to paint. But not also paint, they have been taught to play instruments. Now, probably for various copyright issues, I don't know, we don't have any money here. One of them is actually playing a saxophone. Please do find that. It was on Saturday the videos came out, but I think these seals are going to take the charts by storm. Please do find that clip. I think it's fantastic. I think they're really well trained. I think it's brilliant. They're still a bit off with some of their notes and harmonies, but a little bit more practicing, I'm sure the seals will do fantastic. Well, I'm terribly sorry, but I have to love you and leave you now. Myself and my new haircut have places to go and people to see. It has been fantastic to be returned, and it's fantastic to sit with you again. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, because I sure have. Please like, subscribe, comment, watch it again, rewind it, watch it, touch it, maybe not. Just watch it, enjoy. Thank you. And I will have to love you and leave you. And this has been Mr Hurley saying have a fantastic start to work and 2016, and I will see you back here again on Wednesday for our show. It's been Mr Hurley saying good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching Mr. Hurley's Evening News. Thank you very much for stopping by, and remember to tune in on Monday, Wednesday, and especially for our Friday specials. Leave a like and a comment. Thank you, and good night.